This is an Israelite temple complex. Its basic structure is the same as the Solomonic temple, but on a much smaller scale. It's probably, 1/5 the size of Solomon's temple, maybe even less than that. Let me explain what the basic structure is, and then I will go down and point it out inside, and then when I'm done, everybody can come in, you can wander around, take pictures, do whatever you want. You need to stay back from these pits they've dug, because this wall is kind of loose, and it could slip and you could go falling in. See that fence? That was up here once, and it's collapsed down. You see what I'm saying? That barbed wire fence. So the thing is sloughing off after they dig. So just be careful. But you can walk up the middle part. That's pretty safe. Just stay away from the edges. Okay, out here you've got a courtyard. You see this square? You've got this wall here. That's pretty clear. Then you come over there and you see where Brother Emmett is going. He's going through the gate into the courtyard, and that there is the courtyard, and he's walking along it. So it's small. You can see over at the other end where the barbed wire fences are. That is the zone where the end of the courtyard is. So this is a courtyard where the people would come and worship. Theoretically, there could have been an altar there, but they didn't really find one. So it's a little bit puzzling why that was the case. Then there's a stairway there. Do you see that? Brother Emmett is now climbing up the stairs. That is the leads into the room that he's now standing in, that's called the holy place. Now in Solomon's temple it was a long hall. This one's called a broad hall, and it goes sideways so that it's broader than it is long. So it's just two different ways of building. Thank you very much. Yeah. And now could you point to door number 2? Okay. Does everybody see that? How it's a broad hall. So you've got an outer court. People could come in here. Only the priests could go into this one, and those steps leading up. And then just behind Brother Emmett, he's now walked into the Holy of Holies, that blasphemous swine. We must stone him for violation. Yeah, okay. Holy of Holies was the place where it's just a small chamber. You see it's smaller than the other ones. Only the high priest or maybe some high-level priest could go in there. That's where they would offer incense to the Lord. Out in the courtyard you do blood sacrifice. Inside you would offer maybe bread, at least in Solomon's temple. And then in the Holy of Holies, they may have kept an image of the Lord. They may have kept a masebah. They might have just had an empty room. It's hard to say. Different Israelite temples seem to do it a little bit differently. But this temple is the remains of what an Israelite temple looked like after the time of Solomon's, probably. I mean, certainly after the time of Solomon's. But it was still functioning. I mean, it continued to function. Solomon's temple we don't have any remains of. So this one's kind of interesting because it shows you what the basic layout was. And if you read the biblical account, you've got the Holy of Holies where the ark was kept. Then you've got the holy place where the showbread table was, and the menorah in the holy place. And then you've got the courtyard out front where they offered sacrifice. And that's basically what we've got here, this structure. It's called a tripartite structure. We see it in lots of different temples. And when we read about Nephi making a temple in the Book of Mormon, he says he makes it like unto Solomon's, but not as grand, not as glorious. It's probably about what he's talking about, something like this, right? It imitates the basic structure, but it's not as glorious. Okay?